Hello, everybody. Welcome to New Earth Rising. Sharon Sananda and I are here to bring you the latest and the greatest in the news is what's happening in the world. Today, we're going to talk about false teachers, faux gurus. And so we got a bunch of tips and a bunch of red flags for you guys to follow. But first, we just really want to welcome you. I am Michele Ambergy. I'm known as the Awakener. I am one of many. And chances are, if you're finding yourself here at this show, whether you're watching live or otherwise, you're probably an awakener too. And really what that means is, we become aware that we're more than what we've been told. I mean, it's really very simple. We begin to be aware of that the world out there isn't quite what it has, like what we think it is, and we begin to awaken to the fact that things are not as they seem. And we also begin to realize at that same time that we are really great and mighty beings that are capable of so much, and we're filled with so much love and beauty and joy, and that we're allowed to live that way. And so that's what I do for a living, is I help people to find that within themselves through a bazillion different ways, just like Sharon does. Sharon and I, it's so funny when we met each other, it was like, oh my God, we're like parallel sisters or something. It was so cool.
hmm
So Sharon, I'm so happy to be here with you. This is going to be a great show. I'm super excited.
Hey, Michelle, me too. Yes, and hello, everyone. Thank you for being here again and for the first time. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Barbie and Spirit Song, thank you. Um, yeah, I know we have a lot to talk about for sure. I mean, things just keep getting s- crazier and crazier, but that's what happens when the sun is being shown on the darkness, right? What's been hidden for so long. And it's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. It can crash belief systems,
Yeah.
and which isn't easy. I know, and Michelle, I'm sure knows too. When we think that something is true, and we find out that maybe that's not so true after all.
Yeah.
Something that we've followed or had a faith system had faith in turns out to be not what we thought.
Something different. It's like
Yeah,
a really bad boyfriend.
but you thought he was good.
I thought he was a good
And then you
guy,
find out he's a jerk.
and he's a jerk.
And he hid it well all this time. Okay.
It's kind of like our government. We thought they were the good guys,
Oh, I
but
never did.
no, I didn't either.
Yeah.
But if
No.
since I was 18 years old, everybody would be like, "Oh, you got to vote, you got to vote, you got to vote." And I know this is going to trigger some people, but I kept being like, "Why? What
Mhm.
difference does it make?" Oh, you got to do it, fine. But as I got older, I was just like,
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's I'm the same way, and I'm also embarrassed to admit that I didn't vote for a long time until I was in my 40s, and because I kind of figured it's all corrupt anyway.
"Yeah,
What what good is it?
yeah,
What good is it? So, but that needed to change, and that might have been part of the agenda anyway to keep
yeah."
people from voting. You know,
Ooh, good point. Yeah,
yeah, and and then I realized as and things like that need to be fixed too. But as I did start voting, I realized, gosh, there's so many people that have died for a right to vote, for that privilege.
absolutely.
Yeah, and so um, I'm glad that at least I woke up to it, and
Yeah,
sometime in this lifetime, because it's really an important part of being an American,
yeah. We just
right?
need to
And what we
correct the
were
voting system.
we do, yeah,
We need
that's
to correct that
a big
because
deal.
our beliefs that why bother were proven very, very valid.
Yeah.
In the last couple vote dealios that we've had. What do they call those? Oh, elections.
But it's been
Um,
going on for a long time. What
and
I
it's been going on.
understand is that, and I'm going to say it, rigged elections have been were started by the mob. David Wilcock, if anyone follows him, did a lot of research into it.
Yeah,
I believe it was the 50s. They started rigging elections in New York.
Yeah.
and that's
Sure.
where it started. Mhm.
Absolutely. The mob rigged everything,
They still
right?
do.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
the mob. The
It's the
mob. They just
mob.
expanded.
It's
It's just
not
been
the government, it's the mob. Oh
Oh
God,
gosh.
it's not me, it's you. But yeah,
Of course
yeah,
it's me. Isn't it all about me?
it's
Isn't it?
always someone else.
Yeah.
But you know what? We know better than that now. We know that we do have the power to make changes, and that we do have within us to make changes that isn't, part of the matrix.
Yeah.
We can begin to create our own thing, but we do need to be able to recognize the false belief systems and the false patterns, and the false information that we're getting. And that's why Sharon and I wanted to touch on this topic today, is false teachers, because we're starting to see some exposed. And yeah, before the show,
Yeah.
Sharon and I were talking about
Mhm.
our Buddhist leader that got
Mhm. The
caught
Tibetan
saying something.
Buddhism. Tibetan Buddhist, yeah. Before
Hmm.
we talk about that, I also want to say happy solar eclipse and new moon in Aries too. And and we do have a meditation at the end of our show that I'm going to um, take us through. That is not my meditation, but I got it from Enrita Melchizedek, and it's a beautiful meditation. So, and invocation, she calls it. It's
Yeah.
about 5 minutes or so.
Yeah,
So
let's
hopefully you
do
stick
it.
around for that.
I
Yeah.
sent out an email to all of my subscribers saying happy equinox for the eclipse. I wrote equinox instead of eclipse.
Happy something,
Happy E. Pick the one you want.
right?
Oh my gosh, I swear. And I love eclipses because I can always feel the shift of the energy. And last night when I was doing my meditation, we are talking about how eclipses are kind of like unplugging the computer and plugging it back
Mm.
in. It's like a really good reset. Hey, Charlene.
Hey, Charlene.
And it's a really good reset. But a lot of times, the reason you do that is because the computer's going haywire. And I was telling
Yeah.
Sharon, and actually I think Barbie and Spirit Song probably know too, that I literally had that happen to me a couple days ago, where my computer was going haywire and I had to unplug it and reset and plug it back in, and it was the day before the eclipse. And
Mm.
so it's a real invalid thing.
Yeah.
And we need to do that. It that eclipse energy, it kind of disrupts the solar influence on the earth for a little while there, and kind of gives us a rest and a respite to kind of bring it all back in, because the sun activity has been so intense lately.
Right.
It's been up there, and Mother Earth is responding too. The Schumann's been off the charts.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
we're accelerating, people. We really are.
We are, and that's a perfect time for us to talk about our topic today because it's being uncovered. I just kind of see it, when you're tilling the soil, when things come up, as you're tilling the soil, that type of thing, and stirring up the pot, I guess, where this stuff for the pond stuff comes to the surface to be
Yeah.
washed away.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really kind of hard to talk about this, but I think we need to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
With the Dalai Lama.
Yeah. And God bless him. He's been a leader of the leaders for a long time.
Yeah,
I mean, he was deemed to be the Dalai Lama at what, 9 years old or something, and he's now in his 80s.
yeah.
He's been a leader of leaders, literally.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
it's hard to imagine what that little bit of information that we got, what that means, in the big picture, you know. Is he involved in all the scary stuff we hear about? Or was that just a slip of the tongue? I had to say it. I had to say it. I'm sorry. I had to.
Well, that's what he wanted, but yeah. Oh, whoops. So
It's like
yeah.
the big man saying we're gonna lick America or whatever that
Oh,
was. What is it up with you people and tongues?
well, I think it's all an agenda anyway, but,
Yeah,
we're watching a movie, and sometimes it's really entertaining. It can be really entertaining. Um, trying to get not to get caught up in the craziness and the big circus.
yeah,
But yeah, it was quite disappointing. But hey, sometimes when you just feel things and know, you just like, oh, huh, wow, okay. As long as and that's the whole thing about what we want to talk about is being so invested in someone else
yeah,
for your
yeah,
spiritual progress, for
yeah.
your own um, feelings of self worth, and that's what's going by the wayside.
Big time.
Yeah.
And listening to yourself too. I had visited His Holiness um several times when he was here in Orange County, here in Southern
Mm.
California, and it was such a big hubbub and people and famous people everywhere, and I was always just like, I don't get it. But it was like I got caught up in the fray, and oh my God, this is amazing! I'm so honored to be here, and I'm like, oh, but everybody says it's awesome, so okay, and really listening to yourself. I think about, matter of fact, I was when I heard that thing, I said, I paid a lot of money for tickets to visit the man, and I was never overly enchanted by the whole thing,
Yeah.
but I was there because
Yeah.
other people said it was something.
Hmm.
And so that's such a great point that you brought up, Sharon. Such a great point to be, don't find your spirituality through others.
Yeah. We tend to put these people on a pedestal, and that's one thing that Yeshua taught us, who I think is the greatest teacher to ever walk the planet, um, is that what he has showed us and taught us, we are all that. We What he has done, we can do and more. So he never asked us to put him on a pedestal or anything like that. And
Mm-mm.
so that's one of the probably number one tips to remember about you know the teachers, and of course that goes for us too. Always take what resonates and leave the rest with whatever we say, of course. um Not that we're these, but we're up here, we have a platform, so we have a responsibility to
To tell you not to
you
listen
know
to us.
to tell you not to listen to it. Exactly. you know and take it with a grain of salt, okay? So but with yeah, with I've lost my train of thought. I interrupted myself
Sorry, I
again. With the
interrupted
Dalai Lama.
you too.
Oh, that's okay. The Dalai Lama, um, and if you don't know what happened, it's not something that you can say didn't happen. So I've heard
It's true.
someone say, "Oh, it was faked," but no, he actually apologized for it, and acknowledged it. For being inappropriate with a child, for saying what he said. So, and number one tip, Michelle shared the number one tip, but that we need to remember is, go ahead and say it again.
I don't remember what my wise.
Oh, if if you're following a leader who says,
Oh, suck my
"Suck my
tongue.
tongue,"
Don't do it.
that's a red flag.
Don't fall into the trap.
That's a red
And
flag right
we're
there.
out. We're
Number
done.
one,
We've
yeah,
given you all we got. We're out of here now.
that's all you need to remember. That's all we need to
Red
remember.
flag number 1. But yeah, and in any time you just don't feel like a teacher of any sort is
Mhm.
resonating with you, you have the right to step back. You have the right to listen to yourself. And it doesn't always mean they're bad. It just means they're not right for you too, and
Yeah,
so
what I found are some red flags, and, I've been fooled before, we all
oh,
have, right?
heck yeah.
Yeah, totally. As if whoever you're learning from or, following, um, tries to teaches that this is their answer is the only way, right? Um, and tries to, alienate you from other teachings or other studies or anything like that, or other people,
Yeah.
right? Family, people, friends,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And, also, I noticed that a lot of, um, fake teachers, and this comes with channeling too, because there's beings that, you can channel, that'll try to make you feel or tell you that, you are we're all special, of course, but that, you're the one, like Neo or something like that, or you have something that, I mean, we all have our special abilities and gifts, yes,
Right.
but kind of puts you on some kind of a,
Even a pedestal.
pedestal.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You might wanna, dive into that in your meditations and say, "Hey," something like that. Um, so yeah, so that's also, and any type of guru or leader who makes any inappropriate comments or any kind of sexual advance or anything like that is, definitely use your discernment with that.
Stand down.
Red flag, red flag.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also, I was in a situation where I was with someone who um was really a wonderful person. But the deeper you got into it, the more it was, well, you have to buy this. And well, if you're going to stay in this, association, you have to take this class and you have to do this. And as you got deeper and deeper in, it went from being
Good.
$100 a class to thousands of dollars worth of classes. And then it was like, oh, you're not going to take them? Oh, well then, you know, mm-mm,
Yeah, that's a good point.
mm-mm. That is a
Selling,
big,
upselling
yeah,
all the time.
yeah,
And Scientology is really good about that, I
yeah.
understand. Yeah, and there's a lot of faiths, I guess.
A lot of them. And another one is
Mhm.
someone telling you too that, the whole "you're a sinner, you're not good enough, you're broken, and you need to fix it, and I
Mm,
can help you." That
mhm.
kinda stuff. And another thing too that I wanted to talk about too is, and I find this with the psychic groups, and there's a lot of really good loving psychics out there and intuitives and psychic mediums, but there's a lot of them out there that use fear as a tool to hook you into coming in and then hook you into staying, and using fear as a tool. And any leader who makes you feel afraid of anything, um, really check yourself too with that, because it's a tool that's used in the mainstream constantly. You're not good enough, and you really should be afraid of all this stuff. And
Oh, yeah.
fear it's a powerful tool. And anyone, no matter if they're super big gurus or little mini gurus, it's if they're making you feel afraid or uncomfortable, mm-mm, listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. I had on Instagram, I get these people all the time that are like, "Oh my gosh, I feel so drawn to you, and I feel like there's something really bad coming down, and you really need to get a reading." And I'd like to help you with that after I've looked into your fields. Can I interest you in a reading? I'm like, no. If you looked into my fields, you would see I have my own divine connection, but maybe you're the one that needs a reading. And I never hear from them again.
Wow.
But you have to be careful because people fall into that. They get scared. And remember, if any teacher makes you feel afraid, and especially, I mean, we can bring up things that are kind of scary, but we'll always offer a solution or something to make that be usable and beneficial for you and not just leaving you in that fear energy,
Mhm.
right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's, and this is my, the way I work, and I'm sure you do too, Michelle, is in a session or any type of class or course or anything like that is meant to make you feel better.
Empowered.
It's about healing, empowering,
Yeah.
yes. And so you're moving into another level that is, and it's always based on um, finding that part of you that's been dormant or been hidden and covered up. So it has to be. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's how we work with the divine beings that we work with.
Yeah.
That's how we know that we're working with divine with the good guys.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah,
you are loved and empowered and you feel good when you get done.
right.
Not like drained or scared or uncertain. So it's really important. Another one with all this faux guru thing that I want to
Mhm,
bring up, and it's not about necessarily a false guru or a false teacher, but it's what can happen when people give their power away. And I want to bring up the whole Doreen Virtue thing because I am a angel practitioner. I've got all my training with her, and I loved her. I thought she was great. But in the classes that I took, I was always really disturbed at how many people literally worshipped at her feet.
mm.
When she took her, oh yeah, spirit song. I've seen Carrie. She does pretty good. Um,
I don't know.
Um, but when Doreen decided, it was time for her to take a left turn out of her field, and the way she did it, really upset some people. But there was such a backlash of anger and hatred at her by the people who depended on her for their spiritual nurturing. And, it unfortunately, the company that she worked with, that's how they worked. It was you become when you get hooked up with them, you become a workhorse for them, and it's work, 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 and you got to write books, and you got to have merch, and you got to have this, and you got to have shows, and you got to go, and you become like a celebrity, right? And it's not
Mhm,
always the teacher as much as it is the mechanism behind it too. And we see that in the
mhm,
entertainment business, we see that in the music business, we see that in sports, we see that in a lot of stuff. And so, you want to make sure that you're not giving your power away to anything or anyone, and that anything or anyone is not requiring your power to sustain them either. And I'm not at all saying that that's what Doreen necessarily was doing, although she was doing quite well, in her field. But having been around her, I do really feel like she was very true to what she was doing and stuff. But the backlash that came at her was so disturbing as well. And I know I had never gone into the worshiping of the guru stage, and my first thing was, dang, she just left a wide open field for all of her trainees to step in, ripe and ready for all of us to jump in and take over the angel train, and it
mhm.
was I actually stepped back from that because I saw the anger that was aimed at her, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not stepping in the middle of those bows and arrows. I'm gonna let
Mhm.
that settle down before I'm gonna step into all of that." And it was a really interesting time. And so there's things like that that happen too, and you have to listen to yourself, because I could have hopped on the train of anger and hatred and how dare you abandon us and turn away and say everything that you've done for the last 20 years is evil and blah blah. But I didn't. I kind of saw it what it was worth. And it's important to do that too and to honor someone's choices as well.
Yeah, I took a couple of workshops with her back in the day when I lived in Texas, and, the first one, I saw her in, um, in gallery also in where she was on stage too, and, the first one I went to, she looked like she was feeling good, she felt very free and open. The second one, which is a couple years later, and I believe this is when she married the man that was Christian, and and she at that time when she was teaching about ascended masters, and of course Jesus too, and I think she had started talking about Jesus a little bit, but that he was coming to her or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but she didn't look happy. She really didn't look
She
happy.
was
I have to admit it.
exhausted.
Yeah, she did,
Yeah.
and I felt bad for her because I could tell that she wasn't really happy with what she was doing and her fame. Um,
Yeah.
and then it was not long after that where I saw a change in her
Yep.
before she even came out
Yeah.
and talked about how that the new age community was all
Evil.
you know evil.
And there's a lot of darkness in it. She wasn't
Sure,
100% wrong.
just like everything,
As with
just like
everything,
everything.
exactly. But yeah, I noticed
I
that
have not
too.
seen Carrie Kay, though. I don't
Carrie
know who
Kate,
that
yeah,
is.
I've seen her. I like Carrie, and I've been
So,
Spirit Song. I've been following her for a while. Um, but she does some stuff that are a little bit scary. That I'm kind of like, that doesn't feel good. But you know what? I'm always a big one. It's like I've never been a follower kind of a person. It's like if the herd turns that way, I'm going this way. Much to my chagrin, often. But
yeah,
I've never been that much. But yeah, Carrie has some really good stuff. But she does some stuff too, and we all do. I I do too. I do stuff that bug people. I have people a lot of times. You should be this way.
we can only be the way we can be, right? I mean, I just feel there's a reason and a season for everything.
Yeah,
So, like with Doreen,
right.
she helped me tremendously in the beginning. I read tons of her books, and
Absolutely.
I got her it was her cards were my first oracle cards. I used them all the time and enjoyed her teachings and stuff like that. But then as I felt more empowered with my gifts and abilities,
Yeah.
I moved away from it.
Yep.
I didn't rely on her
Yeah.
teachings because I was relying on my own
Yeah.
intuition and my own connection to our
Mm,
my guidance system, which is what we're meant to do anyway.
right. And that's one thing that
Yeah.
you'll find with a teacher who is helping to guide you to connect to yourself, right? And it's interesting because a lot of people, and I've had people say this to me a lot. It's like, well, if you're teaching people to be a psychic, doesn't that mess up your ability to have people coming to you for psychic readings? And it was like, really?
There's
Is that
plenty.
how you're thinking about that? Right? And so,
Yeah.
it's listen to your own self and find teachers that help you to listen to your own self too. And will teach you to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we all have the ability. We all have it within us, and so Michelle and I both, we're just here to help people find their true self, remember their true not find, but
Remember.
remember all our true self, because we had people that helped us
Yep.
too 20 years
Yep.
ago or how long ever long, um, we weren't, I mean, granted, there was a lot of times where I didn't feel like I had anybody to talk to, but we did have people that we followed and
Yep.
that we trusted and resonated with at the time. We weren't an island. So, and
Mm,
that's what we're all supposed to be doing anyway, is helping each other with our own, based on our own experience.
yeah. And loving
Yeah.
each other. Like
Right.
Sharon and I talk, a lot about when we have different views on things. And we sit here and we talk about them,
Mhm.
when we're each allowed to have our own views. And how much more can we know and learn, understand, and grow if we allow other people their views? But when you
Yeah, and it'd be kind of boring here if everyone was the same and thought the same. We'd be a bunch of automatrons.
totally
But how fun is that? We do, one of the things is I believe Enki's a good guy, and Michelle doesn't.
no, I
So
think they're
we'll
two
see.
sides of the same damn coin. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. So Charlene says she did follow Carrie K for a little bit, but didn't resonate.
Yeah.
I did for a bit follow her, but didn't resonate.
Yeah. I was kind of the
And
same
that's
thing.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah. And
There's some
absolutely, and
people we don't
sometimes
resonate with.
you pop in and you get what you need from someone, and then you don't need anything else.
Right.
You know, there
And I know, believe it or not, I'm sure there's people that don't resonate with
no
us.
way.
I know, it's hard to believe. It really is.
Well,
But,
there's something wrong with them, and they should get back over here and do what we tell them to do.
I know, right? I was just on an interview. Did an interview for a channel recently about my NDEs, and he's actually including my childhood NDE in his new book, which is
Oh,
pretty
very
cool.
cool.
Yeah, and and he told me that well, he shared it on YouTube. It was on YouTube. Then he said he had a Facebook page that he shared it on. He said, "Yeah, you you may want to know there's a lot of comments, but there's some of them that aren't so nice." I'm like, "Well, why would I want to know that anyway?" So I went and looked at it, and believe it or not, these people, oh, no, I'm kidding. They were calling me a liar, and I'm used to it. I've been on lots of interviews where, and it's funny how when you talk about Yeshua or Jesus, people get triggered.
Yep. Yep. Big
Yeah.
time.
And the trolls come out, I guess. But yeah, they were saying some pretty awful things. And these two people that were having a conversation with themselves about me, I'm like, I don't even address that. Why even give it any energy? Because it doesn't do any good.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah. When I
I know it's like some people don't resonate with
and
us.
the, I can't even imagine, we're so delightful.
I know, right?
When I first started doing all this stuff and doing the YouTube channel, and I think I started my YouTube, I think it was 2011. And, didn't do much, but did a few things. But I did have those people coming up and telling me I was of the devil, and doing psychics are of the devil. And that's changed a lot. I haven't been called, of the devil
Oh
for a
yeah, I
long
got that.
time.
I've gotten that. I know. Well, then you're not doing your
I
work.
have raised my vibration.
You must not be doing something right if you haven't been called the devil in a while. But oh yeah, in the very beginning when I was doing this and teaching about and past life soul retrieval and things like that, I had a conversation with my son about it, and he's very Christian. And he told me that and I told him I talked to Yeshua, I talked to Jesus. He said, "Oh, you're probably talking to Satan
Oh,
because,
yeah. Yeah. I've gotten that.
Jesus doesn't," and he got that from his minister. I could hear the minister talking through him, right? And he's changed since then, but he was trying to find his way. But he said, "You're talking to Satan because Jesus doesn't talk directly to people." I'm like, see,
Talk about false
that's the
teachings.
problem. That's the problem. Yes.
Yep. And that has been going on for thousands of years.
Hmm.
And people are so programmed that they don't have the direct connect.
Right.
And that's what Sharon and I do.
And we
and
all have
and
it.
people like us, is we are trying to help people to remember that they do have their direct connection, and get you back in alignment with that. And it's, yeah. Ooh. I still sometimes get moments when my programming comes up, and it actually wasn't too long ago, maybe about 6 months ago, where I was like, am I doing something wrong? Is Jesus really talking to me? Like, is it the devil? Am I doing the devil work? I mean, I went into that kind of a spiral thing. And because I get kind of paranormal stuff, like I have stuff, all of a sudden I'm in my house, and all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, there's something here, something bangs on the piano, and it's like, okay, gotta do a clearing again.
Mm,
And
yeah.
and I started thinking that there was something wrong with me, that I was doing something wrong, that I was attracting this, that I was, maybe, when I'm, think I'm talking to Jesus, or, praying and claiming my sovereignty, maybe that's the devil talking through me. And I went in this, and I've done it multiple times throughout my, spiritual journey, and it's scary. And it comes from that programming that you can't talk directly to the powers that be. You have to go through
Right.
someone else who is qualified, and I remember one time, matter of fact, this last time that this happened, and I was crying. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've got all
Yeah.
these people I love that I'm trying to help, but I don't know what I'm doing. And that was a wonderful experience I had where in my mind's eye, Jesus came to me, had his arms out, like that. And he just said, come to me, come to me. He said, just put your head on my shoulder for a minute and just,
Oh,
feel,
I love
feel the
that.
truth, feel my love for you. And it was
Mhm.
so wonderful, but it was just like I got in that spiral. And I think a lot of times, when you really care about what you're doing, you want to be careful that you're doing it right. But
Mhm.
whoo, little mini dark night
Yeah.
of the soul,
Wow, sounds like it. Yeah.
right?
Sounds like an infiltration, definitely a
Mhm.
trigger, but an infiltration because I believe that we're getting infiltrated. Um,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Little things like that to sow seeds of doubt.
yep.
The little bots, the little AIs, the little trolls, and that's
Just
that's a
everything. Yeah,
little demons, whatever we want to call them,
yeah.
whatever we want to call them. I
Whatever
think it's
word.
AI. Yeah.
Well, we had a thing the other night, just to share a little something. It was a little bit late. Abby was going to the restroom and something blew in her ear. And it was my opportunity to share with my granddaughter, here's what we do. And I could feel this presence like, I'm going to scare her. And I'm like, no, you're not. We're going to use this opportunity to teach her what to do. And I showed Abby how to do the spirit release. Sharon and I, we've done this kind of stuff before. And all of a sudden I just heard this voice just kind of go, ugh, just left. It was like, oh crap. Yeah.
Oh, they saw me.
Yeah.
They know I'm here.
Yeah. And
Wow.
we're teaching the
Wow,
kids.
that surprises me that you would have that kind of a, I mean, your space in your space.
Surprises me too. But
Yeah.
my daughter loves going to cemeteries, and she loves all
Oh,
that kind of dark stuff. And she had been here for a couple days and sleeping in my room.
oh, yeah. Huh.
All the smudge in the world doesn't clean it all the time.
Yeah, you never know when there's a little doorway there or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, totally. When I bring this book out in the morning and just start reading a passage in it or a paragraph or something, that's my connection, and I feel them, and I just start tearing up. That's how I mean, we can connect to them anytime, but something like, something that we can use to open the door, make the phone call, I guess you could
Rapidly.
say,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Yeah, is I find really helpful.
Yeah. A
It's a
talisman,
it's
right? A
that's
talisman
the
have been
word,
used for
talisman,
thousands of years for that
and
connection. A
that's
lot
what
of
I
people
have in
use
here,
crystals.
talisman. Mhm.
Yeah. Fluffy bookmarks.
Talisman, I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really good way to, find and remember what's really real,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
higher part of us.
And we live in a false world. We really do live in a world of distortion and illusion. And it's easy to find your way. And it's easy to believe, and find false teachers. It's easy to get caught up in that. But the thing too is to remember that even if you kind of go off the trail into the rough for a little bit, little four-wheeling, you always learn something from it, right?
Sure,
And that's
sure.
that's in everything. If you get caught up with something that maybe isn't quite right, you can always self-correct and learn from that experience. And again, it's like bad relationships, everyone you have, you learn from it.
Hopefully. Some of us takes a little bit longer.
Mhm.
So spirit song, you say "Me Too." What "Me Too" with what? Did you get
Oh, I
that, Michelle?
think she was responding to when I was talking about having a little interlude in my house. Is that what that was, Spirit Song? Yeah, you would.
Spirit song's gonna be on my channel.
Is she, did you finally get a hold of her?
Yeah, we got
Oh,
together.
Spirit,
Don't
I don't
remember. Yeah,
remember. It was
I
that
know,
good,
right?
huh? Good, I'm glad. She's so amazing.
Oh, I know. I can't wait to
She's
meet her
such
and
an
for us
angelic
to chat.
being. Good
Nice,
job,
nice.
Spirit
I could
Song.
tell. Yeah. Don't remember. So all you gotta do is turn around 3 times, and then you'll remember.
You gotta kiss the floor first. That's the
Don't suck the
key.
That's the key. I didn't know about that part. Okay. I just wait for it to come back. I see it on a circle, the thought that I lost, I just see it going on a circle and coming back.
Oh, that's cool. Some of those thoughts we just don't even need to keep.
Well, this is true. Someone told me the other day that, he didn't believe that we actually, have original thought, that everything is in the collective and it's just bouncing around in our energy field. Like what I'm saying right now isn't an actual original thought. It's just it's just what I'm pulling out of the
It
collective,
makes kind of
out of
makes
the
sense.
right?
When you go with the theory that we're all one, everything is an
Mhm.
eternal now, and energy is eternal, it just goes on forever, then no beginning and no end, that means everything already exists, which really
True.
takes all the fun out of it.
Maybe we just do it in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely. Because this
I
is a
hope.
perception, right? It's God experiencing itself in a million billion different ways,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, there's got to be something new. And that's what Yeshua told us uh, at the cross, told Mary, you know, and now I make things, now you are renewed or make things new. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about that. And Spirit Song, how many people have been Cleopatra? Well, let's talk about that for a second.
I haven't had that memory.
I haven't had that memory either, but we do. One of the things that Sharon and I connected on was a really deep feeling of connection to Mary Magdalene. And we actually have started a group. It's called Gather the Magdalens. And we gather with people who have personal experiences as the Magdalene, basically, or that deep,
Mhm.
deep connection to that Christ. Many years ago, it's been, I don't know, 15, God, it's been so long ago, I lose track now. But I had an experience where I was Mary Magdalene and I
Mhm.
experienced Jesus as if I am Mary Magdalene. But I've met many, many other people who do too. And so
Mhm.
I don't think that we are the full embodied reincarnation. I feel that we hold a piece of that soul in this our incarnation when we come in, especially of those great, great people, right? So if we're holding a piece of the soul, if we're holding a piece of the consciousness, that's yet to be determined. But there's definitely so many people that remember being, powerful people in the past. And when there's multiple people, you kind of have to start realizing that at some point that greatness is distributed by those that are ready and or willing, to carry that with them. And I think
They can access
Cleopatra,
that. Yeah.
yeah, is probably one of them. And
I was just writing about Mary Magdalene and Yeshua, my memories in my book this morning.
yeah, oh, very
Just this
cool.
morning. Mhm.
Yeah,
Seeing through her eyes.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's, oh my gosh, I used to have dreams of watching him carry that cross, and it
Mhm.
was horrifying. And I couldn't. And when I saw the movie Passion of the Christ,
Mhm. Yeah.
it was way too accurate.
Mhm.
And it was horrible. It was horrible. I sat like this with my thumbs in my ears and over my eyes, and I was there with my work group, and I couldn't get up and leave. And it was just
Yeah.
I was traumatized.
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to that definitely. He's coming out with the one of based on the Ascension. He's working on that. I think it's going to be out this year or next. He said that it's been a long process because he wants to make sure and get it
Right,
right.
right.
Yeah, he's a perfectionist when it comes to his movies. So
And is that the
I'm really excited.
Caviezel, the actor
He's
Caviezel?
yes,
Yeah,
Jim Caviezel.
yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be sick. I'm talking about Mel Gibson.
Oh, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We all thought he was crazy,
I didn't.
and I didn't really either, but it was like, "Oh, man." Now
Yeah,
we're able to hear him, right? And it's like,
yeah,
"Dude, he knew a
yeah.
long time ago what was going on."
He was one of the very few, if any, that were talking about what was going on,
Yeah,
that had the balls to talk about it, the
yeah.
guts to talk about it. You know?
It's very interesting that he's still around.
Mhm.
I know some who did got disappeared. Mm,
Right, right. Yeah, I really like him. I've heard people say that have met him, and you probably know people that have met him, that he's a super nice guy,
mhm.
very genuine.
Yep. Very warm, very generous, very
Mhm.
genuine, really, really understands um, humanity. It's like he really understands the workings of humanity. And it's probably why he's such a great actor, too. I mean, man,
Oh yeah, I think my favorite movie by him, well, between Braveheart and Patriot, I love those epic movies, those historical epic movies. Passion was, of course, but that was tough to watch. But Patriot and Braveheart are probably my favorite by
yeah,
him.
he did them both so well.
Mhm. I was a little disappointed in Signs. I thought it was going to be a movie about crop circles and
Oh, that's right.
explaining crop circles, but it ended up being negative ETs. But hey, we did have negative ETs here. We
And when that
Yeah,
movie was
so
made, they were still here.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, but it had some funny parts for sure.
Like when they're all sitting around wearing the tin hats.
And now what are we doing? Buying silver hats. Silver hats. Yeah, mesh silver hats.
Yep.
You can get
Get your
them.
tin foil out, people. 5G is awake now.
Uh-huh, yeah. Do you feel any difference? Do you feel anything with it?
With the
You
5G,
notice it? Yeah, you notice anything?
I can't say, yeah, totally, but I
Yeah,
can tell at certain times, and it's more at nighttime when everything else is kind of still. I'll feel an intensity. And sometimes when I plug my phone in, all of a sudden it's like this weird energy. And I don't know if it's 5G, if it's the phone. I don't know what it is, but I can't. I mean, I sleep with the phone kind of away from me anyways, but I can't sleep
yeah.
with it plugged in anymore. It's like the field like triples. And I
Mhm.
remember somebody saying something about it, and I thought it had to do with the 5G, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to plug mine in the other room and keep my phone away from me at night because I do plug it in, but it's a couple feet from me, but that's still too close. I mean, I turn it off. I turn it off, but
That
that doesn't make any difference. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and turning the modems off too is important now
Right.
because there's
Those are
so
in the
much
other room.
power coming out of those things anymore.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if I notice a big difference.
No.
I am not remembering my dreams like I normally do, but that's because I've been sick. So that could have something to do with it too. I've been sleeping really hard. I notice I've been sleeping a lot harder. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure if
Yeah,
I
it's
noticed a
hard
big
to give it 100% yes. I know I don't for so far as I know, I don't have any big towers particularly close to my home. I seem to kind of
okay.
be in a place where there isn't the towers that I've seen, I know that they hide them,
Yeah.
but so that might be a good thing. And then I had heard that from someone that they something was done to the 5G that was turned off or it was I want to say that it was shifted, that there was something that was added to it that diminished the rays that were so bad and it was a Trump
The
thing. I
frequency.
don't remember what that was,
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
but
All I know is my router says it's 5G. So,
mine too. And it
mm.
automatically goes to 5G now. It doesn't go to the other ones too, I notice.
I'm curious if anyone out there, all you beautiful people that are watching, if you notice any difference in maybe how you feel. Um, I do get cut off more. My internet drops more, but I think that's the new internet service we have.
Oh, yeah, you've done good today.
I know. I'm shocked. We
I wonder if
Michelle
it's
and
the
I were
time
talking
of
about.
day.
Uh, it was the same time Tuesday night when I had a live broadcast with Ashley that I got kicked out twice, and it was around. No, I'm sorry, it was around 5:30. We started at 5:30, so it was later.
Oh,
Spirit Song says more
oh
agitated.
yeah.
Mm, okay.
And there's some people that are saying that a lot of the COVID things that symptoms that are actually not that it's the 5G symptoms.
I wonder if that's why I was sick. Because
It
there
could
was two of
be.
us in the house that were sick.
Hey,
Actually,
Shelly.
three.
Shelly says she doesn't know if she's noticed much change.
Hey, Shelly. I know Shelly was sick too. She said the other night that she was sick.
Yeah.
Because it didn't feel like a normal type of bug,
Was it a
whatever that
detox
is.
kind of a thing?
I had a fever. I had a bad fever
Ooh,
for like
ooh.
3 days, and it kept going. And I thought I was getting sick again 3 or 4 days ago. Um, I felt feverish again. I thought it had gone away. Um, but I feel much better now. But she says I've been really sleepy, even though I am sleeping. Yeah, I've been sleeping really hard.
And that can also be the I almost said equinox again. It can also be the
The
eclipse
eclipse.
energy too, because sometimes that reset can really. I was feeling quite different. I was feeling elated and giddy and silly and giggly. So,
Wow. Okay. So maybe I don't know. Yeah, and I know a lot of people have been getting sick. Um, so Shelly says she was sick for 11 days and migraine for 5 days.
wow.
And she had feverish stuff too. Yeah, it was miserable. I hadn't been sick in 3 years, so over
Mm.
3 years. So it was a strange thing, strange feeling. I'm like,
The
what is
this
this?
being sick nonsense.
What is
I
this? Yeah.
I watched a video from a doctor, a pretty well-known doctor. Yeah, spirit song feeling exhaustion.
More
I've been
often.
feeling better,
Yeah.
but you know what? One of the things that I'm doing too is I had all those blood tests done and found out that my thyroid was way out of whack.
Mm,
And when I first started taking my thyroid medication, I felt like crap. And now I think it's
mm.
kind of starting to kick in. It's been almost a month. And it's like I wake up in the morning, it's like, "Hello, day."
Nice.
I'm feeling good
Nice.
and having that. And the vitamin D deficiency too. It's another thing everybody should be watching.
Sure. I take vitamin D drops every day, but still don't get enough sunshine for sure.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all those things, getting it as organically as much as possible.
Well, this I don't know about there, but they spray the skies every day almost
Really?
every day here
We
in
haven't
the
had
Northwest.
much
It's
of
really
that.
bad.
We haven't had much
It's
of
really
that lately. But we've had so much overcast. They could be spraying it. I don't know.
they spray at night too.
Oh,
Mhm. I've seen them.
wow.
Geoengineering is what they call it. They don't call it chemtrails anymore. They use geoengineering. So they're getting us all ways. Yeah. That's why we have to keep our frequency high and stay healthy and not not yeah, not let it get to us.
Yeah.
Spirit Song's spraying here too. Where are you, Spirit Song? Do you know where she is,
She's
Michelle?
in Washington.
Oh, you're in Washington.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, up in the Northwest, it's just as bad. I know Shelley's local to me. Um, yeah, so it's really bad.
Yeah. And it's one of the things, yeah, Spirit Song, Washington State. One of the things that this doctor was talking about is he was saying that there really isn't, that the whole theory of viruses as it's presented to us isn't right. That when we get
Right.
sick, it's not a viral overload, it's a detox overload. And so if they're spraying and adding to all the other, toxins in our environment, that getting sick is just really toxic overload, your body needing to detox. And
I
that's
don't doubt
why
it.
you get a fever, 'cause
Mhm.
it's burning off toxins, it's not burning
Mhm.
off viruses, according to this doctor. I wish I could remember his name.
Mhm.
And, you don't wanna eat, you just feel like resting, and he's saying that's what's going on, is it's like a forced fast to help your body to detox toxins.
I don't doubt it. I've heard a couple of interviews or few, I guess, I don't remember, over the years of scientists, doctors who do not believe in
Yeah,
the virus that the medical community puts out there
yeah,
the way, we think it is. And and I was talking about the other night that I believe that any kind of virus that we think we have is actually thought a thought virus, a mind virus.
that makes sense too, doesn't it?
Mhm. Yeah, it does. Because if we're inundated all the time with where you're gonna get sick, you know, the mind is very pliable, as we know, and we can believe that we're sick. I shared it the other night that thought forms. Thank you, Spirit Song. Yeah, that when I was sick 3 years ago, uh, um, yeah, my housemate said that she had a sore throat and she wasn't feeling good, and I was feeling fine. I was on my way to work or doing whatever it was. And as soon as she said that, I felt whatever it was jump in
Sink.
my throat. I
Yep.
felt my throat just and by the end of the day, I felt really bad. So that thought form,
Yeah.
because it was in my awareness, it infiltrated me because
Mm.
I allowed it into my awareness. And I got because it was when we first started talking about COVID. And so, that was like, oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah,
And so he said, I'm not really feeling good. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God. Yeah.
Well, we were
So,
so terrorized with that thing. I
mhm,
remember I was really afraid when that first came out, and I'm not typically afraid of stuff like that, and I was really afraid. I
mhm.
have children, I have grandchildren, and I was like, "Oh my god." And I was raised Mormon, so I'm prepared for the end of the world. I'm like, "This is it. This is it."
Yeah, and that's another example of putting these experts pedestal and believing everything they
Yeah.
tell us, especially the government. And yeah, and so anyone who with any brains, hopefully we could see through that agenda. But yeah, what you were saying is that how it scared you, and when I got through it in March of 2020. I mean, I was sick for a couple weeks, and but I'm like, oh, this is the flu. It felt like I had the flu,
Yep.
whatever that is. It
Yep.
just and so I was over it, and then I realized I don't need to because I went through that in my quickening 20 years ago, where I was afraid of everything
Yeah.
that was shown to me, what was going to happen, and I went through that process at my time in the temple on the hill, and so I was done with that. Yeah, and so I wasn't afraid of it anymore, and I feel like I worked up an immunity to it or had an immunity to it because I did have it then. Whatever that mind virus was, it was a mind virus. So I'm
It
like, oh, I
really
already had
was.
it. I'm good.
Yeah, because I had it in September, and I was like you, I was sick for like 2 weeks, and it didn't even occur to me that it was that
Hmm.
until a few months after I got over it, and then I was like, "Huh," and everybody's like, "Did you get tested? Did you get tested?" I'm like, "No, I'm over it now. Why would I get tested? What the hell?" You know?
Yeah, just do what we always did. Stay home and take care of yourself, and act like a normal person. So go ahead, Michelle.
Oh, I was gonna do the same thing you matter of fact,
Yeah.
here, let's do this
Okay.
because this is good information, D3K2. Yep,
Hmm. Yeah, I
yep,
do the same thing.
yep, me too. Me too. When I had stuff done, I had not been taking my vitamin D for a while, and my D levels were low, so started taking my vitamins again.
Hmm.
Yep,
Yeah, I also have
and the zinc.
ivermectin. I took a few rounds of ivermectin. I take that too.
When you had, when you were sick then?
Hmm.
Or recently?
Recently. Yeah.
You know what? Here's something that I've been getting for this is for myself, but I'm sharing the information because I'm not a doctor. I've been getting for me to do a round of it just as a detox part of a detox program. And so I'm getting ready to do a fruit detox, a couple
Well,
of
it wouldn't
days of
hurt. Wouldn't
melon
hurt.
and then just run it through, clean the colon out, do some melon and then do a parasite and a
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to hurt.
mm-mm.
Parasite cleanse. How is that going to hurt? Once every few months or once a year or something. So, yeah, Barbie has some good advice too.
Yeah.
We just need to get the sun here, here in the my neck of the woods.
It's been so overcast here too.
But you can get it through the clouds for sure.
Yeah,
But
and you can. You totally
I,
can.
I
But
forgot I have
like
a sunblock.
today, our weather is saying it's clear and sunny.
It's raining or it's
It's not
not.
raining, but it is not clear and sunny. It's just that overcasty stuff.
Yeah. So Barbie says also get in the sun every day and put your bare feet on the earth, in the
Bare
earth.
feet in the
Yeah,
earth. Yep.
for sure.
Yep. I need to
Thanks
do
for
that
those
more often.
reminders.
Bare feet in the earth. There's actually an electromagnetic connection that makes when you get your bare feet on the earth, that allows for you to dump toxins too, because
Mm,
we get charged up with electromagnetic
pulls
energy
it
as
out.
well.
Pulls it out through the feet.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Matter of fact, with the whole 5G thing, we probably should be doing it more and more.
Every
And
day.
maybe that's what some of the illnesses are.
I
Maybe
know.
that's some of the illnesses are is you had 5G buildup, Sharon.
Yes. We all got sick. Barbie says, I never got sick. Good.
Yeah, she
Good
never
for
got
you.
it.
Good for you. Yeah, Charlene says she needs to do a detox for sure. I think we all do once in a while.
Yeah,
It
it's not a
I
bad
mean,
idea.
it's not fun when you're doing it.
But if you start doing it on a regular basis, I think it's David Avocado Wolf that suggests
Mhm.
that, um like once a month they do like a 3-day detox. You can do like green juicing, you can do fruit, you can do, it says just a water detox is kind of harsh.
I used to do liquid Mondays where I would just drink only liquids, water, tea, and juice on Mondays, every Monday. And that was it felt so good. That was when I was fasting a lot.
Yeah, I used to do it
I
too.
yeah, I don't
And that
it's been a
one
little
with the
while.
lemon juice and the cayenne pepper, remember that? Oh my
Oh, yeah, and the
god.
maple syrup.
Yeah, and the maple syrup, yes. Oh my gosh, I used to do that. Oh, I found out later I was allergic to peppers.
That was strange. I've done it too. Yeah, but it was a strange one.
Oh, the things we do.
The things we do for sure. You can get a burn during overcast skies. Yes, you can.
Means
Yeah.
that sun, the U what is it? The UVs are getting through.
Mhm. Yeah, it's raining here though. But hey, I love the rain. The rain feels good too. Stand out in the rain. It's very cleansing
Yeah.
for
And thunder
sure.
and lightning. On, Bridgewalkers this past Tuesday, we were talking about the storms and thunder and how thunder and lightning really clears our energy fields, just that of being
Yeah.
able to be outdoors. Now, don't go stand in an open field, people, but being
Or
able to
under
be
a tree.
outdoor or a tree. Don't be under a tree either. But in that you can really help to clear and again reset your energy fields because it's an electrical charge that happens, right?
Mhm.
We are electrical beings, electromagnetic beings.
Speaking of clearing, do we wanna do the meditation?
Yes.
Let's do the meditation. Let me
From
pull it up here.
is it Amrita or Anrita? It's Anrita, A-N, right? Anrita?
Um,
Melchizedek.
Melchizedek. I'm not sure if it's Am or Ann. I think it's a Anrita Melchizedek.
Because I remember I wanted to take a course with her one time and tried to get a hold of her, tried to sign up, didn't go through, tried to get a hold of her, never got a response. Then I got a response, had a response back, never got back. And I was like, well, I'm not supposed to study with her apparently.
Oh, I've
But her
taken a
stuff
lot
is
of her
great.
stuff. Yeah, her stuff is amazing, and I have, quite a few of her recordings, and she's has this amazing voice that sounds like I don't know, she has this accent that's, I don't know if it's English or Australian or something, but, and
Yeah,
very
I think
soft
that's the
voice.
spelling. I just put it Enrita Melchizedek.
Yeah, Anrita.
Oh, Melchizedek, or it's Z-A-D or Z-E-D. I'm not sure. Let's do it.
Okay.
Is everybody ready? Everybody take a nice deep breath. If you got water with you, take a nice sip of water and let's enjoy this wonderful meditation.
Oh, yes. Okay. Hmm.
Mm.
I call upon the overlighting of Mother, Father God, and all other beings of light I personally acknowledge, as I now merge with my beloved I Am presence and the beloved I Am presence of every man, woman, and child upon this sacred earth. Surrounded in the golden, diamond, and white light of the beloved I Am, I find myself expanding into the unity grid of divine love. As the sacred geometries, sound, and color frequencies activate from within, I connect to the light workers, star seated one, and all the beings of light from on high assisting in this golden age of light. I now experience the unified heart Merkaba activation as I deepen into my loving heart, initially sending my appreciation, gratitude, and love to all within my life. The star tetrahedron now activates within my original divine 8-cell blueprint within the perineum center. As I clear the karmic timelines no longer necessary to experience, rescinding and breaking any and all vows and contracts created in this lifetime or any other lifetime parallel realities, and all incarnations for all time, space, and dimensions that no longer serve my highest good. As I release, let go, and energetically move beyond old Earth, clearing lower density vibrations and frequencies, collapsing and dissolving lower timelines, I bring a focus to the golden sun and golden flower of life that expands from within my loving heart into a beautiful golden sun and golden flower of life sphere 54 feet in diameter around me. And now within this, I visualize a beautiful silver gold sphere 10.8 feet in diameter around my body. I now visualize 3 superimposed star tetrahedrons within this silver gold sphere of light. All the exact same size superimposed over one another. I now spin my emotional body star tetrahedron in a clockwise direction within the golden sun and golden flower of life. At the same time spinning the mental body star tetrahedron in a counterclockwise direction. As I recite the following Fibonacci ratios and God speeds of light. 8-5, 11 times God speed to infinity. 13-8, 22 times God speed to infinity. 21-13, 33 times God speed to infinity. 34-21, 44 times God speed to infinity. And now my Merkaba activates to the 5th dimension and beyond as I bring a focus back to my loving heart and expand now ever deeper into the Lemurian New Earth Gateway. At the time of this eclipse, ever deeper into soul embodiment, ever deeper into alignment with my universe, and ever deeper into 0 point to the conscious awareness of each now moment. I now align into the inner earth sun, the sun within my loving heart, the sun, the central sun, and the great central sun. As I receive from my universe to the Lemurian Gateway, the resurrection of ascension codes that activate from deep within, as I merge now with my Lemurian higher selves, multidimensional selves, and future selves. I now experience a pineal gland activation so that I may fully remember and embody my magnificence and light as the sacred transfiguring flame of divine love. As I have a sense of the cerebral spinal fluid moving up and down the spine, the Kundalini energy igniting and moving from chakra to chakra, I feel and sense this now within Gaia's light body and through the unity grid of divine love, as I further feel and experience the heartbeat of Gaia. I now have a sense of the star tetrahedron activating within the light body of Mother Earth. As I assist in wrapping Mother Earth and all her life in this beautiful golden, diamond, and white light, and now the violet flame of God's infinite patterns of perfection, I assist in clearing each country I am drawn to of karmic energies no longer needing to be experienced in this now. And now, as the Kundalini energy continues to gently rise through my chakras, I focus on lifting the star tetrahedron through each of my chakras. As I experience a deeper sense of divine love, unity, peace, and harmony, and now the integration of the hybrid eclipse light codes of confidence, courage, and passion, as well as new levels of leadership, manifestation, and co-creation. I now find myself back in my sacred space, grounding to the crystal heart of Mother Earth and the cosmic heart of Mother Father God. I am a sacred transfiguring flame of divine love, a volunteer soul to Mother Earth and all her life. I choose New Earth, trusting and surrendering to my universe, trusting and surrendering to life. I am all that I am.
Thank you.
Mhm. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you, Rita.
Mm. It was interesting when you were talking about cutting the cords for all the different countries, or clearing all the different countries.
Mhm.
I, for some reason, immediately went to Japan, China, and then jumped over to the United States, Canada, Mexico. And then all of a sudden, I saw all these people being pulled up. And I was like, what is that? They said it's all the people that are perpetrating negativity on this planet. They're like all being pulled up, cords cut
Oh,
across the whole planet, and the cords cut for them to be able to move into new earth consciousness.
oh, nice.
I was like, thank you for that. That was awesome.
Wow. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, that feels good.
Luann is here. Thank you, Luann.
Thank you, Luann.
It's like,
Yeah.
no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Hmm.
That was good. That was good. Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's happening. We just really need to be keeping our mind and our energy on what we want to be creating and not getting caught up in the circus, right? The
Right.
circus, indubitably.
Indubitably. I love that word.
I always think of where did we hear that first? It was in a British accent.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
Was that Sherlock Holmes?
I think it was.
Yeah, Watson,
I think
maybe?
it was.
We should remember, commit to doing some kind of a New Earth meditation at the end of each of our shows.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think that's our new thing. What do you guys think?
That's our new thing. Mhm.
Yeah. I think since we are New Earth rising,
We are.
we're the gurus, the only ones who know the secret. So
We have the
worship
keys.
us.
We have the keys. Yes. We all have the key. We all have a different key for the same thing, don't we? We
Exactly.
all have a different key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we all are the keys, you
Yeah,
know, to that
we
to
are.
that beautiful energy that we all are within us, and stepping off the wheel of madness of the distorted creations that have happened. We can do that right now.
Mhm.
We can do that. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Mhm.
I like how that Van Gogh behind you really depicts such a beautiful kind of a new earth image too.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in 5th grade, we did a project where we were painting and we were painting a Van Gogh, and we were listening to that song, Starry, Starry Night, paint
Mhm.
the palettes blue and gray. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I just that whenever I see that painting, I just remember that song and it goes together, and it was such a lovely experience for me, whatever that was. It was painting, so it made me happy.
Nice. Starry, starry
Starry,
night.
Starry
Yeah.
Night. And I don't even remember who sang it. It was something that was
I
someone
think it
who's
was
very.
Don McLean.
Yes.
I think it was Don McLean because I used to love that song too. I mean, I still
Mm,
love it, but I used
it's
to
so
listen to
good.
it a lot. Yeah. He did American Pie.
Bye, bye, Miss American
American
Pie.
Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee,
But the
the
levee
levee
was
was
dry.
dry.
I was always like, what
Don
are they
McLean, yes.
talking about? What levee? Where did they drive? Where are they?
And
Are they
what's a
in Los
levee?
Angeles?
What the heck is a levee?
And the other one too that was awesome was Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
Yeah,
That wasn't
that's
McLean, but that was that era.
yeah, it was, Three Dog Night.
We had
3.9,
good music back then, man.
right? Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, we still have it. Um, well, I don't know about that, but we got the we got the classics. We got the I don't know. I don't know if I've have any new artists that I can say that I really enjoy like I did,
No.
coming up. I
Yeah,
was gonna say growing up, but I've never grown up, but coming up. Yeah.
I don't either. I know, we used to be big on the Grammys, with my father being in the music industry, and, we as a family and just kind of built into our matrix
Right.
was you watch the Grammys every year. And the last few years, I start watching it and I'm like, who are these people?
Ugh, it's awful.
And this last year I didn't even attempt it.
Did you ever go to the Grammys? Did your dad
Yeah.
ever go? You were there
Oh
actually
yeah.
in the fray of it?
We
Wow.
went we went several times. My dad went every year. He was part of the whole big thingamajig. I think he
Mhm.
presented one year. I don't remember. I wasn't there that year,
Mm.
probably because it was such a big deal. But yeah, we sat at our little table and sat with people. I was so clueless as to who my dad was and what he was really doing and what it meant. Like, "Hey, we're going to a dinner party, cool. Oh, there's people up there talking, right on."
Yeah, right.
I'd moved away and I was probably like 20 years old and I was like, "No way." And thank goodness, 'cause I'd have been hell on wheels if I knew what was going on.
Yeah, a lot of times we don't, when we're in the thick of it, we don't see until we're outside of it and see things
Yeah,
in a lot of experiences in our life
yeah.
because we're in the
Well,
thick of it.
yeah, and my parents were such regular people.
Mm.
I mean, my dad, when he was home, he wore a cut-off T-shirt and jeans that he cut off with the strings hanging halfway down his legs and his flip-flops with his socks and
What
out
do you mean
raking
by
leaves.
cutoff T-shirt? The half shirt?
Oh, well,
Oh, the sleeves.
he'd, like, cut the sleeves off or, he used to have his favorite, the cranberries, and he would
Oh,
cut
yeah.
the sleeve half off, but he loved the sweatshirt, but it was too hot, so he just cut the sleeves off.
That's funny.
He was such a character out there raking leaves, like the rest of the dads
R
on the block.
regular guy.
Yeah, I was like, you know?
Nice.
It was
Nice,
so
nice.
cool. I'm so blessed. So, yeah.
All right. So,
You guys are awesome. Thank you for
mhm,
being here.
yeah.
Thank you for being here. This has been really fun.
Barbie says she sings "Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog" out loud on the trails.
Jeremiah
Nice.
was How loud?
Too bad she can't sing it for us
Do you
now.
do you give it some voice? Can you give us a clue? Can you record it and send it in? We
Right
could
now?
use that as our opening to the New Earth Rising next time. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. We can all get together. We can do like the Zoom. Have you seen when the kids sing the song and they're all on their Zoom pictures and they sing a song
No, I
in
haven't seen
tandem?
that.
So good.
No, I haven't
Like
seen that.
Barbie's like, I sing it louder than the other hikers would like. You go, girl.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah,
I mean, singing and dancing is so healing and really lifts your vibration. That's the first thing I do is turn on music when I get up.
yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. I used to always have YouTube music streaming and I got smacked by my internet company because I was using too much data.
That's why we had to switch.
Mhm.
Was it Comcast?
No, it was Cox.
Oh,
And I used 75% of my data and they had to notify me that I would be charged considerably more if I go over. And so I called them up and I said, so I didn't use 25% of my data, and they were like, that's correct, and we need you to know that you're getting close. And I went, well, Is that going to roll over into the next month? So then I get 125? No, ma'am, that's not how it's done. Do you have like a bank I can save it in? So in case I go over, then you guys can just apply that to that. No, ma'am, that's not how it works. I went, then you guys suck.
Mhm.
I said, don't don't hold me to your rules and not give me all the stuff that I'm saving. I'm
Mhm.
doing my hardest to save that data. I should get credit. Oh God, they wanted to hang up on me so bad.
Yeah, ours was, that they wanted to charge us $80 extra to go over our quota.
I think that's what mine was too. I think it
Yeah,
was 80
for the
bucks.
month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, so we got unlimited, but,
I have unlimited too, but they changed it.
yeah, I always change those, and they forget to tell us. Here we are in a bitch session here, but, so
That's okay.
they forget to tell us.
We're still talking about faux teachers
We
and
are.
faux authority figures.
For leaders, faux
Utilities
authority.
count.
Things we think we need.
Things we think we need. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here, being a part of our show of New Earth Rising. And oh, excuse me. And of all the fun that we do here, Sharon and I love you. And
Yes. Yes, we do.
we'll be here next week. We don't know what
Mhm.
we're going to talk about, but we'll
We'll find
figure it out
something.
between now and then. What's coming up, Sharon? What's coming up? Mother's Day?
Mother's Day?
Mother's
Next week?
Day is coming. Oh, that's in May. Sorry. I don't know.
We'll come up with something.
We'll find something cool. My friend, Seth Dietland is going to be with me before we have our show. Maybe I can talk him into joining. He's going to
Oh,
come
the angel dude, yeah,
the angel dude. Yeah.
angel angel communicator. I couldn't think of,
Angel
what.
communicator. Yeah. He's going to
Nice.
be
Yeah,
here.
Steph is awesome.
Yeah. So I might try to sneak him on. I'm thinking if I duct tape his feet and arms together, he probably can't get away. No, just have him sit here with me.
Oh, so you're kidnapping him, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, alright.
I think that's a very angelic thing to do.
Angels do that all the time, I guess.
Angels do it all the time. Oh my god. Steph, I hope you're not listening to this broadcast.
I'm gonna email him and tell him.
It's like all of a sudden it's
I'm
like,
gonna say, "Be
"Hello?
careful."
Oh, hi, Steph. Oh, you're not coming? Oh, okay."
Word got out.
Okay, guys, we love you. Thank you for putting up with the silliness and we totally appreciate you guys being here, being a part of New Earth Rising.
Yes, have a good weekend. Have a good
All
Friday
good. And
evening.
happy eclipse Eclipsinox.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed the meditation. It was amazing, I thought. So I'm like, "I gotta share that. We gotta share this." So,
Yeah, that was good. And
mhm.
we'll get on it. We'll start bringing that. That's a great way to close the show. So thank
Yeah,
you so much, Sharon. That was awesome.
yes.
All right, cutie patooties. Mwah.
Peace out. Love
Stay
you.
sparkly. Whoop.